Welcome everybody inside the F.G. Clark Activity Center. It's the Southern Basketball Mid-Season Show as we've had the, of course, preseason of all the games before we get to the SWAC Conference Tournament and all that kind of good stuff. And right now we have got the one and only Coach Sandy Pugh. Coach Sandy Pugh, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here today.
Yes, indeed. Merry Christmas. How was your Christmas? Good?
Christmas was great. Christmas was good.
Well, Happy New Year to you as well. And I know it brings in SWAC play. And let's talk about, first of all, pre-SWAC play with your Jaguar basketball team as a lot of traveling. How does that, is that good for you? Do you like that? Is it hard to get the team to focus?
I wanted to kill my assistant when I saw that schedule. But yeah, I think it is. I think the kids love it. You know, they get a chance to go to states that they might not otherwise travel. Wisconsin, you know, Indiana, Oklahoma, Florida. You know, we have a number of kids from Florida. So I think the kids loved it. And it's an opportunity for us to do a lot of team bonding. So they love to travel.
What does it do to prepare your team for SWAC play? Did you play any teams that's kind of close to any team in the SWAC?
You know, when you look at a team like Auburn, long, athletic, I think, you know, they kind of mimic what a Texas Southern will be. But, you know, those preseason teams, those kids are so big. I mean, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'4". You know, it takes a toll on a team of our size, you know, where we only have 2 kids at 6'2". And so Sarai had to play a number of long minutes. You know, she got into early foul trouble, which is always an issue for us. But you know, they pound you. It's a pounding, and you know, we tried to extend the game and make it, you know, a full court game. You know, because at the half court you're going to really struggle defensively. So you know, I thought we did some good things of trying to take them out of their rhythm in the half court and make them play a full court game. And in some cases we had a lot of success. Came up on the short end of the stick, but I definitely saw a lot of positives.
Before, you know, later on in the show, we're going to talk about Brianna Green and how big of a year she's having so far. Other than her, what other players that look like they're stepping up right now?
You know, I've been saying all season long that Sarai Blissett, this will be her coming out year. Mm-hmm. And she's showing characteristics of a first-team all-conference performer. She's got to be able to stay on the floor, as I said before. She can't keep picking up the cheapy fouls in the first quarter and having to sit. Brianna Green has played spectacular the last 2 basketball games we played in. She struggled somewhat trying to find a rhythm. We had an off-court issue that we had to do a little discipline with, and but I think she's back and she's refocused and she's stepping up her game at practice and on the court during the game. So that's a big plus for us. Skylar Aubert has really been shooting the ball great the last few practices. I'm hoping that that's going to carry over going to the Texas swing. She's coming along, and I think Samantha Duncan has surprised a lot of people. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people come up and say, you know, that watching you guys on TV on your live stream or the games on regular TV in some of these places we've played, Samantha Duncan has played spectacular on both ends of the court, defensively, offensively, taking care of the ball, making plays. You know, so really excited to see that those kids continue to grow their game. I'm hoping that Coco Parsons will step her game up at the point guard and step into that role. And I think by far she's our best shot at that position, and in terms of the experience and size. So we're going to continue to grow, and this team is going to do great things before it's over. I know that Skylar has run point a few previously. How does she feel? Does she feel comfortable in a new slot? I don't know. You know, I asked her, she'll be like, whatever you want me to do, Coach. So, but you know, you want her to shoot the basketball. That's her forte, is shooting the basketball and being out there on the perimeter. And I want her to be a little more selfish. You know, I want to see her be more aggressive offensively. And I think, you know, the games where we struggle are games where our 2s and 3s didn't score very well. You know, our 2s and 3s have got to get us 20, 25 points a night, and right now we're probably averaging about 10. Mm-hmm. And that has been a big issue in the preseason for us. And going into conference play, they've got to step their game up.
63 points per ball game, though. Pretty good, you know, pre-tournament, I mean, pre-SWAC.
Well, we want to play fast, and we want to get up a lot of shots. You know, we want to put up 75+ shots. And in order to do that, you know, you gotta play fast, you gotta rebound the basketball, and you gotta get it up and down the court quick. You know, so I want to see our kids, you know, take better shots, continue to take better shot selections, but more importantly, I want to see us get that basketball up and down the court and put that pressure on the other team as much as possible. Besides
Samantha Duncan surprising you, what other aspects of the game do you like about your team so far going in as we start SWAC play coming up in January 1st?
You know, the ability to run our half-court sets and get the basketball to the people who need to be shooting the ball. I think, you know, in preseason we had signs where we played incredible basketball. We have to improve on rebounding. We had some situations where we didn't turn the basketball over. We were, you know, at one point ranked in the top in the country. And then we had some games where we just, you know, were just not in sync. So I think, you know, if we can continue to improve on not turning the basketball over and rebounding, those are going to be two critical areas going into conference play.
Brianna Green, I counted, was it 4 or 5 double-doubles? Double rebounds, double points. So she's again, you know, when you got that, I mean, my son, I have to be on my son constantly, and he just signed with the Marines, but I'm still having to be on him, you know, a lot like that. But how do you see her developing in the SWAC this year? She's always been good. How do you see her in her senior season developing this year?
You know, we've talked numerous times with Brianna about her leadership, you know, showing the leadership in terms of, you know, if you're the best player on the court, show that. Be that guy every day, day in and day out, and that consistency. And I can definitely say that in the last couple of weeks, she's been that person for us. And she has to continue to show that, and she's got to step her game up. Her ability to shoot the 3-ball, put it on the floor, finish with either hand, she can post up, she's got a jump hook, she's got a mid-range pull-up. I mean, her game is so well-rounded and so versatile. You know, some coaches call that a 3-level kid, you know, but she has that whole package, and she's got to show that, and she can't hide. And I think as she continues to assert herself offensively and defensively, as we'll go, and we'll improve, because she is that catalyst for us.
When we come back, we're going to look at SWAC play as we get you ready for the SWAC basketball play here with Coach Sandy Pugh. It's the Southern Mid-Season Basketball Show right here on Pelican Sports TV.
The 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Get to your local Nissan store today. Take on sudden stops. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Southern Jaguars.
At Raising Cane's, we really like all things football, especially these guys. We could watch them all day long. But our one love is quality chicken finger meals. We could watch this all day long, too. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Winning doesn't happen overnight without a championship mindset. Come join me, head coach Morris Scott, and the SU Jags men's basketball team as we prepare for the upcoming season at the Mini Dome. Come join us. Go get your tickets today. Go Jags.
Louisiana Healthcare Connections is more than Medicaid. Whether you're trying to raise healthy kids or need health coverage for yourself, it helps to have good Louisiana folks on your side. Louisiana Healthcare Connections, connecting you to quality healthcare.
Welcome back, everyone. We're inside the F.G. Clark Activity Center. We're going to be busy on Saturday, January the 6th, right here as we open up home play in SWAC competition. But first of all, let's talk about the SWAC. And, man, a couple of surprises. You know that the Lady Tigers are going to be there from Texas Southern. Alabama A&M 5-5. The Lady Bulldogs get off to a good start.
Yeah, my assistant was talking about that, and I was like, that's great, you know. Those little kids, you know, really struggled in the conference last year. And to see that they've already doubled everything they did previous year, I think is just magnificent. It's good for our conference, you know, when we can see where you go out and we play Wisconsin and all of these other teams exceptionally well, and then our A&M and Grambling and some of these others have gone out and beat some good teams. So that's always good for our conference RPI, and it'll help our champion down the road. So I'm excited about that, and you know.
Then also, obviously, the Texas two-swing is always the toughest to start. I don't like both of those gyms. One is so wide where the basketball, you know, the fans are way behind the goal, and I'm talking at Texas Southern.
Yeah. Prairie
View A&M, it's so compact. People are on top of you, so you start with the Texas two-swing, and then obviously here against the Lady Tigers of Grambling State on January the 6th at 3 p.m. right here in the F.G. Clark Activity Center, and Jackson State on that Monday. So right there, 4 straight games getting off some good competition.
You know, you can assert yourself real quick, you know, as a conference contender champion. I mean, you're going to see your top 5. I mean, number 1, 2, Texas Southern, you know, from the preseason predictions, and Grambling on the 3rd game, and then PV, of course, in the middle. So, you know, our whole focus is it never gets any easier for Southern, because it doesn't matter who you play or where it's being played. Everybody's bringing their A game for Southern University, and we're so okay with that, you know. But you know, going into those games, our focus is we've got to rebound. We've got to play our brand of basketball. We've got to stay focused. You know, we've had some games where we didn't do that. The Toledo game we just recently completed, I didn't think we played 40 minutes of basketball. I thought we played about 20. You know, and you know, you can't give up 26 points in the 4th quarter and think you're going to have a chance to win. I thought we allowed, you know, the fouls, the late hands checks and the different things like that we just got to clean up, and we got to focus in on what it takes to win basketball games and close those games out, because we weren't very good at closing games out in the preseason. So going into the Texas Southern game, I know that we're going to go in and I know we're going to play hard, and I know the kids are going to execute, but can we close the game out? Can we do the little things, the extra, get the 50-50 balls that we're going to need to do to win on the road, you know, in the conference? So that's the question, and that's the challenge for our kids and our core group to step up. And our freshmen, you know, I haven't talked about them, have really been playing well for us. You know, Allyric Scott has just come off the bench and just done a phenomenal job. She hit a big 3 against Toledo to get us going, to try to get back in that game. So excited about those guys, excited about our entire team and our capability, but we just got to get over that next little hurdle, you know, that last little hurdle. When we get over that hurdle, I think we're going to have our aha moment, and then from there it's going to be, we're just going to soar.
Right, and I tell you what, it's tough to win on the road in the SWAC. There's no question about that. So it's that important for you to be here on that Saturday, January the 6th, when we host the Grambling State Tigers. When we come back, we'll have our player spotlight right here as we continue to talk mid-season Southern basketball right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Preparing a meal. It's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Home, away, any game day. At Walk-Ons, we'll help you do game day right.
At Roadrunner Towing, we love our God, our children, our nation, and yes, our sports. So let's play ball. Score big when you need a tow, either in East Baton Rouge or West Baton Rouge. Because at Roadrunner Towing, we don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes.
To be a champion, it requires heart and a relentless desire to be great. Here at Jaguar Women's Basketball, we call that being Southern tough. Join us here at F.G. Clark Activity Center all season long. Tickets are on sale now for 2017-18. Go Jaguars.
The biggest scratch-off game of the season is here. It's Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery. Your chance to win up to $100,000. Scratch the back for an extra game. Enter the second chance drawings for VIP suite experiences, a deluxe limo experience, a tunnel team experience, official autographed team merchandise, and the grand prize, a 2018 season ticket package. Play Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery for your chance to make this your winning season.
Nobody, Frank, nobody.
Nobody does clearance like Salisbury.
It's our disappearance clearance, and we got a deal for you.
Only Salisbury has this 2017 Ram Quad Cab for just $23,990 after finance rebate.
A 4-door full-size truck with payments you can afford.
With automatic, air-conditioned, power windows and locks, speed control, and even a hitch.
8 at this price plus 60 more at similar savings.
It's our summer clearance event and they're disappearing fast.
Only at Salisbury's Chrysler,
Dodge,
Jeep,
and Ram
in Baton Rouge.
Buy smart.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking Southern basketball, and of course, right here from the beautiful F.G. Clark Activity Center, what is going to be pretty busy here coming up real soon on Saturday, January the 6th against the Grambling State Tigers. With us right now, we've got junior guard Skylar Aubert with us right now. Skylar, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
How was Christmas for you?
Really good.
Good. Tell everybody where you're from.
White Castle, Louisiana.
And of course, good teams over in White Castle for basketball.
Sir.
Yes, indeed. Now, I was just talking to Coach about that. You were point guard. Now you're at the guard position.
Yes, sir.
How do you like that?
Oh, it's a little easier. So it's put me in a position to just be able to score, and then when I'm playing point guard, just control the floor, do what she asks.
What is your favorite shot, from the wing or from the top of the key?
The wing.
So you like the wing better?
Yes, sir.
See me, I was a top of the key guy. But tell us any story that you like coming from the road before you get to the conference of the SWAC. Where was your favorite place to play?
I would have to say Wisconsin.
Which you played them very well.
Yeah, we played them well. It's just we got to be able to finish games, play 4 quarters strong, and execute, play strong defense, and come out on top. Do
you already know Coach Sandy Pugh before she yells something? Do you know, okay, she's about to get me on this?
Yes, sir.
But, I mean, I love her as a coach. I mean, she knows when to take players out, when to keep them in, why the reason to keep them in. That's why she's been so successful as she has been here.
Yes, sir.
And tell us about going into the SWAC. what's going to be your favorite team to play? When you played all the SWAC, I've watched you play. You dove for the ball in the tournament in Houston at the Toyota Center and what have you. So tell us what you expect as you get ready for SWAC play.
Gotta expect, we know who can do what on every team. So game I'm really ready to play is Texas Southern and Grambling because we always owe them. It's always a big rival game. So just got to play up to our potential.
And that's where you start, Texas Southern. I mean, how big is that going to be?
Oh,
no question with that.
Oh, yeah, big start. Got to come out on the first game, get the win, go over to PV and get another dub.
What's your toughest player to play in the SWAC that's returning this year, would you say?
She's gone. She was at Alabama State, so.
So you'll have new ones this year.
Yeah.
Now, do you like D'ing up?
Yes, sir.
Right. I know Coach stresses that big time.
Yeah, big time.
It's not just about the scoring, it's about the D'ing up.
Yes, sir.
And she wants you to run a lot, too. Is that something you like, kind of the run and gun?
Well, yeah, it's fine. We're running. We're small, so we got to be able to run teams out the gym, just push them up and down the floor.
And what player do you look at on this team, do you look up to guide you, to help motivate you?
I would say Brianna Green because she's a great player. She, like Coach said, all around. She can shoot at the elbow, put it on the floor. She make great passes. So, yeah, she run the floor well. So, Brianna Green.
No doubt about that. Now, free throws, I noticed that this team is up on free throws this year. And I know that's big, too, especially down to the stretch when you hit the second half of a game, and especially tournament time. Free throws are huge.
Right. You just got to be able to get to the line and actually knock them down, put us up, do whatever it can to help us, but make sure we're attacking, getting to the line.
We've talked about how tough road games are in the SWAC. So how big is it going to be on Saturday, January the 6th, when you come here in this arena to take on the Lady Tigers of Grambling State?
Oh, we know it's not going to be easy. Like they say, you get bad calls on the road, but I feel like it's home too. You just got to be able to play through adversity and just go out and execute.
But to hear the fans when you make a layup, when you hit an outside shot, that big scream, it's got to be motivating. It makes you come out of your skin and become, you know, a superhero or something.
Definitely, like, motivates us and encourage us to keep playing. Like, the intensity of the game is exciting.
So far, what have you learned the most here at Southern University as you've been here so far?
You got to play through adversity, through everything. It's just going to be teams that might be better or worse. You just got to play up to your potential.
Isn't it amazing the pride and how everybody plays Southern with their best?
Yes,
I mean, throughout the conference, everybody can't wait to play Southern Jaguars.
Right.
And that's going to be a big again this year, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome deal. Well, we look forward to watching you play, no question about that, Skylar. And again, I know you're going to have a big year. And I know that being picked fourth preseason, that's got to be a big motivating fact. I know
most definitely.
Coach Sandy Pugh and her team, you don't pick her fourth.
Yes, sir.
Well, Skylar, good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
And good luck in your new position.
Thank you, sir.
And SWAC play, that'll be fun. All right, that is junior Skylar Obear right here for Southern University. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Coach Morris Scott. We're going to also talk about his season coming up. And also, too, we'll have a player spotlight from the men's side. That's all right here at the F.G. Clark Activity Center. And again, how important that is, Saturday, January 6th, right here at home, 3 p.m. start time against the Lady Tigers of Grambling State. We'll be back with more of the Southern midseason pregame show right here as we continue on Pelican Sports TV.
What's the most important aspect of event hosting? Location. This is something that Bell knew from day one. That's why we're located in downtown Baton Rouge, across from the convention center, close to LSU, and right by the river. So with a friendly staff, award-winning cuisine, and a massive conference center of 10 rooms and 24,000 square feet capable of fitting more than 2,000 guests, what we offer is just as important as where we are.
South Louisiana is a melting pot of culture. ICEX offers customers an affordable array of goods and services as diverse as the people we serve. We are your premier digital print solution, handling projects big and small, vinyl graphics, outdoor signage, even embroidery. We offer a wide variety of clean, reliable rentals as well. Cooling fans, KW generators, light plants, commercial-grade catering equipment, and so much more. Give us a call at 233-7313. ICEX, so much more than just ice.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton & Fouger. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton & Fouger today.
Louisiana Healthcare Connections is more than Medicaid. Whether you're trying to raise healthy kids or need health coverage for yourself, it helps to have good Louisiana folks on your side. Louisiana Healthcare Connections, connecting you to quality healthcare.
Oh, I love it. I know, right? I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it. Is it suede? It's suede. Love suede.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it. I know, right? I saw it and I was like, have to have it. Is it suede? It's suede. I love suede.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Anna Jones in Baton Rouge today.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking Southern basketball right here from the F.G. Clark Activity Center, right here where we'd be in the lane trying to make a layup in SWAC play. With us right now, Coach Morris Scott from Southern University Jaguars. Coach Scott, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing pretty good.
Well, now you've got half the season under your belt. What did you think so far?
Well, so far, I think, we've been playing pretty decent basketball. We just continue to get better, game in and game out, and hopefully that improves and we can come out in conference play and be even better.
How big was it going into Duke to play in the Duke Blue Devils and giving them fits for a good part of the game?
Well, it was a good experience. A lot of people like to be in that atmosphere and play in that crowd. I know our guys was really excited about playing that game because it's a team, nationally ranked. And then you always want to compare yourself to, the best that's doing it at your level. So being able to go in there and challenge those guys for a long period of time was, good for our guys, and they can, for them to see themselves playing at a high level and to know that they got a lot in the tank to give.
Did Coach K tell you anything?
He just told me, he thought my team played well and we did a good job. And good luck the rest of the season.
Playing tough teams like that, how does that get you prepared for SWAC play?
Well, you hope that, you play tough teams like that. Once you get to SWAC play, you hope you faced a lot of different challenges, and hopefully, nothing is a surprise to you. You put certain teams on the schedule because you want to see certain things out of teams, teams that may pick you up and press you a little more, certain teams that may, play some zone from time to time. So you can get a mixture of everything. So once you get to conference play and teams try to switch up defenses and run different things at you, different styles of play, hopefully you've seen everything and nothing's not surprising once you get to conference play.
What are the players, I should say, on your basketball team that are kind of surprising you early on?
Well, the biggest surprise really probably is Aaron Ray, probably the biggest surprise. He's a kid that came in late, wasn't able to really make the tour. We kind of signed him late in the process this summer, and he had to finish up some classwork at his junior college. So he was a kid that came in late after everybody. We went on a tour to the Bahamas, and he knew coming in that it was going to take some time to try to figure out how he could fit into the rotation. And now he's coming off the bench, and he's giving us an offensive punch that we kind of need coming off the bench, and he's consistent normally every night. He come in, he plays hard, he's a physical playing kid. He take good shots, he's real conscious about his shot selection, and he's shooting a high percentage. So that's probably the biggest surprise right now that I can think of for us.
For your basketball team as a whole, what you would like to see improve as you go into SWAC play coming up?
Well, just of course, I think all teams on the defensive end, you always want to improve and get better. I think we're doing a better job now of playing defense. We finally figure out kind of our style and what I'm looking for, and also shot selection and things like that, and rebounding the basketball. Because that's always been a little hinder the last couple of years for us. But I think we're doing a better job of that this year, and hopefully we continue to get better as the season goes.
And you're 3-0 at home, 2-0 in this building, and 1-0 in Seymour Gym. How was it like playing back in Seymour Gym?
It was pretty good. You know, I never played a game over there, but we do have an assistant, Pete Cipriano. He was a player, and they played a whole season over there. So he said, Coach, the last time I was in here, I had 20 and 20. So I said, oh, man, well, we need to put you back in uniform and get you back in the game if you can do that for us.
No doubt about that. What are your strengths going into SWAC play that you've looked at and said, we're a little bit better, a little bit higher than I thought we'd be at this time?
I think we're playing a good brand of basketball right now. I like what the team is as far as the camaraderie of the team. I think guys are playing together. They seem to like one another. And they're finally settling in and kind of understand, you know, what our coaching staff is looking for from them to do every night, night in and night out.
And that's big for your team to be able to be like brothers going into it. And that's something that possibly the long road trip does for you,
right.
Being out on the road as much like that.
Right, and being out on the road for a long extended period of time allowed those guys to gel a little bit and get to know each other a little better than normal, because a lot of the times, you know, especially with us, because we got a lot of new guys. You know, we got 8 new guys, and we try to pair them up with guys that's already been here a little bit too, so they can kind of get an understanding and a feel for kind of, you know, when to get up, when to, you know, make sure you're on time for this and that, and do certain things and the way you handle yourself on the road. And just so guys can get to know each other, and we switch up rooms from time to time, so you can get in a different room with a different guy, just so you can get a feel for everybody on your team. And I thought going to the Bahamas was another, you know, instrumental deal for us, so those guys, you know, was able to bond over there as well. And you just hope all that come together and you're able to put it together in conference play and find a way to come up with a championship.
Jared Sam averaging 15.9 points per ball game, averages about 8-9 rebounds a game. How do you feel his game's going on so far before we get into SWAC play?
It's going pretty good. The only thing is, you know, I was talking to him the other day about, you know, finishing plays around the rim just a little more. Last year's shooting percentage was a little higher than it is right now at this time, and we're just trying to get him to lock in. Yeah, more teams are locked in on you, but you got to lock in and concentrate a little more as well, so you can finish those baskets around the rim. And like I said, you know, guys getting a chance to watch us now, so, you know, he's stepping out and he's able to make his mid-range jump shot a little bit. That may be a little reason why his percentage went down too, because he's taking a couple more shots outside of the paint, but he's still, you know, at a high percentage right now.
You know, when I first saw him, freshman, his confidence wasn't too well. The second year, I saw it getting better. Last year, I saw it, so I can't wait to see him now for his senior season for his confidence, meaning that when he gets the basketball, regardless of where he's at, 9 times out of 10, he's spinning to make the shot.
Right. Yeah, and he's growing. He's still growing, and he's playing with a lot of confidence. We kind of want him to be even a little more aggressive at times. He'll get back into his ways of being a little passive at times, and he's an unselfish kid, so he's totally a team player. Always want what's best for the team, and that's sometimes at a fault, because we need him to do a little more and be a little more selfish on the offensive end at times.
What do you think is going to be the biggest factor playing in the SWAC this year? Would it be rebounds, your work in the paint, or out of the paint?
Well, I think we got a good collective group in the paint this year. We was able to go out and get some kids, some bigger kids to help out with Sam's this year. Last year we didn't have those bigs and that girth. I think Emmanuel Shepard is a kid that's playing really well this year. His confidence levels went way up. He's playing with a lot of energy. I think having him, you know, he started some for us last year, and he started every game pretty much this year. And he's playing well, a guy that came back from last year. But we added some new guys, and Mubashar Ali, the 7-footer that we have, the freshman from Finland. He's able to come down here and rebound the basketball. And we also got Shaquille Benson, the junior college kid, that's been playing well for us this season. Just been in and out with injuries and sickness. But hopefully we can get him back now for conference play, and he'll be ready to play. And we also added a kid that just became eligible here recently in Sidney Mude, transferred from Youngstown State. And he came in his first game back out was against Florida A&M, and he had like 14 and 7 in his first game. So that helps out a lot when you got multiple bodies to run in there to help rebound the basketball. It's really tough when you only got one guy in there rebounding solo by himself a little bit. But now that we got more bodies to throw around and rebound the basketball, I think we'll do a much better job.
So not a lot of second chance shots for the opponents.
No, we're doing a much better job of limiting those second shot opportunities.
Now, for you personally, first game down to this game, now as we get ready for SWAC competition, how have you seen yourself growing from your first game, the first time you're head coach, to now you're going into SWAC play where you were preseason ranked number 2?
Right. Yeah, it's been a lot of growth. You learn a lot about your guys and situation. You know, it's more situational things that you learn a lot about, you know, when your substitution patterns, when to give your guys a timeout, when not to, when they can fight through and push through. Those are the things you learn early in the season. And I think, you know, us as a staff, I think we got a good feel for our guys now. So we kind of know what they can take on the court, you know, with the game, how the game is going, the floor of the game, when to utilize timeouts and when to, you know, sub guys in and out. Those are some of the things you work on during, you know, the non-conference, and hopefully you're really good at it by the time you get to conference play.
Has Coach Banks talked to you at all, giving you a little advice?
Yeah, I call him from time to time.
Oh, you call him?
Yeah, oh yeah. Mostly after every game. Yeah, I like to get his opinion. I like to hear what he had, and he comes and watch a lot of the games. Like he came to the Baylor game, he was at the Duke game. He's been on the road with us a lot this season. And he does a great job of giving me, you know, his honest opinion about our team play, where he see us at and everything like that. And he give us some insights on some things that we can work on and everything like that. You know, I call a couple other coaches, but he definitely one because he's done it here already and he's been really successful. So why not go to the source that's been really successful to help you out?
That's exactly right, and you say that. And, you know, for Andy Reid of the National Football League has been so successful after he has a bye. Right. So Coach Sean Payton calls him and wants to know his secret. So, you know, I don't think enough fans know that coaches do talk, regardless if they go against each other. Right. You talk and you keep it within the circles and you give each other advice, and because it's all one big brotherhood, right?
Yeah, and that's the way it is. I got coaching buddies actually in the league. One of my guy that I knew for a long time was Coach Robinson down at Alcorn. So, you know, we talk on and all throughout the season, but I know that's one of them tough games that we have to play here in a little bit. But so the conversation has dwindled off. We haven't spoken in a while because we know it's coming around that time.
Definitely don't talk
really got we got to lock in. So, so that's a tough one to make that phone call. But we, you know, in the coaching circle, you know, you communicate with a lot of guys, and you know, you pick their brain about certain things, but you know when to draw that line.
All right, when we come back, we're going to slam inside the SWAC. Who's the team to beat? Who's the team we got to look forward to as we start the Texas 2 swing already coming up on January the 1st. We'll be back with Coach Scott in just a moment. We're inside the F.G. Clark Activity Center right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Preparing a meal, it's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Home, away, any game day. At Walk-Ons, we'll help you do game day right.
Winning doesn't happen overnight without a championship mindset. Come join me, head coach Morris Scott, and the SU Jags men's basketball team as we prepare for the upcoming season at the Mini Dome. Come join us. Go get your tickets today. Go Jags.
The biggest scratch-off game of the season is here. It's Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery. Your chance to win up to $100,000. Scratch the back for an extra game. Enter the second chance drawings for VIP suite experiences, a deluxe limo experience, a tunnel team experience, official autographed team merchandise, and the grand prize, a 2018 season ticket package. Play Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery for your chance to make this your winning season.
Welcome back, everybody. We're about to go head-to-head in the SWAC as we get ready for SWAC play coming up on January the 1st against the Texas Southern Tigers. And we're here with Coach Morris Scott for the basketball team for Southern University Jaguars. Coach, are you shocked that the Tigers have not won a game yet? They're 0-13 on the season?
Yeah, I'm shocked in a way, but I know they played a really tough schedule. I mean, they had the likes of Kansas, Syracuse, Wyoming, and all of them been on the road. You know, Toledo, Oakland, and those type teams are the tops in their conference. So it's not really surprising that they're 0-13, but it is because you expect them to go out there and get one or two of those games because they've been so dominant these last couple of years. But I know Coach Davis does a great job with his team. He has a lot of good players in there right now, and they still trying to learn the system. I noticed that he had a couple guys in and out, I guess due to sickness and stuff like that. So I'm sure when we go over there, they'll be ready to rock and roll because every time we match up, both teams seem to be ready and locked in. It'll be a little different for us because we have, like I said, we have a lot of new guys. So I don't know if they really understand like the magnitude and how intense it'll be once we walk through those doors. But I'm sure once the ball go up and we start going up and down, they'll realize that's this serious business.
Yeah, and it's the biggest, smallest gym.
Right.
And I say that because of the fact that it's a decent-sized gym, but the goal, the fans are so far away from the goals. On the sidelines, they're very close. But behind the goals, it's a large space.
Right.
And it's kind of a weird place to play.
Right.
Southern, through the years, hasn't been, that good at that gym. It's always been tough to win there.
Right, yeah. I mean, we've struggled. Actually, Sam's mom brought to my attention that he's never won over there yet. So that's something that hopefully we can change this year. So it's been a really tough place for us to go over there and play. I think since our tenure we've been here, I think we've only been over there and won once in 6 years. So it's definitely a tough place to go and play because normally it's at the beginning of the year or it's at the total end of the year. So a lot of the times the lead is, getting factored in either early in the year or at the end of the year it's already decided and, it's not a whole lot on the line, but it's, just bragging rights on the line. So it's always a competitive game. But, yeah, it's really tough in there. They have a great environment. And like I said, they've been coached well, and they got a lot of tradition going right now.
Obviously, it's so tough to win on the road. And that's, in the women's sports and also in the men's sports in the SWAC, so big at home. You start the Texas 2 swing with Texas Southern and then Prairie View A&M. That'll be on the Wednesday the 3rd, January the 3rd. Then on the 6th, you're right here inside of this arena, F.G. Clark Activity Center, first home game in the SWAC, and it's no other than the Grambling State Tigers coming to town. And right now, they're on top of the SWAC as far as before, SWAC's play starts.
And they're playing well. They have a brand new coach. He's come in and done a great job with his team, with the guys, and he went out and got a couple new guys and brought them in, and they have a great roster together, and they're playing great basketball. They went out and beat Georgia Tech and went over and beat Southeastern. So they've been out there and they've won a couple games, tough games out there on the road. So I'm sure they're going to come in hungry, excited, and ready to play basketball like they always are. I mean, I watched them on tape a little bit playing in those games on TV, and they're a very competitive team. They're a very scrappy team, and they got guys that can knock down shots and play around the basket. So all these first couple games, and really the whole SWAC is gonna be really competitive this year. I think, and you got Jackson State. That's always,
And it doesn't matter if they're starting at 3-10. It doesn't matter. When Southern and Jackson State play on this court,
it's going to be a battle.
It's always that way.
It's always that way. There's no. I tell our guys, a lot of people say it's a love-hate relationship, but with a couple of these teams, it seems like it's just a hate-hate relationship. Like it's just we compete against each other all the time, and we kind of teams that's always at the top in any sport. So that's why it's so competitive every time we match up with each other, and so. Trying to get, like I said, trying to get these new guys to understand that every time you step out on the floor in the SWAC, it's going to be a battle.
Right.
Everybody's coming after you. Everybody wants to beat you.
Right.
So you got to come with your best game every night. There's no, you slip up and you're going to get knocked off. So you got to be on top of your game. You got to come to work, and you got to be locked in and focused.
As being an assistant coach, and now you're a head coach, but you're going into the SWAC, what's the game that you absolutely dread going to that? Could it be the small gym over at Alabama A&M? Like everybody, I mean, really is on top of you.
Yeah.
Or Acadome has always been tough at Alabama State too.
Yeah, Alabama State probably the toughest gym.
Yeah.
Well, besides Texas, I think Texas Southern for us, for
Right.
some reason, they fans have been really rowdy when we show up.
And it's loud in there.
It's really loud. I know one year we had the episode where they kind of almost got out on the floor with the confetti when a kid fouled out. So, I mean, they got a lot of different tactics, you know, which is good for the game. You know, once kids foul out and stuff like that, the crowd is really involved. They stay in tune to the game, you know, while it's going. So that crowd is pretty good. But Alabama State probably is the rowdiest crowd where the fans really are really on top of you, literally on top of you, because they're right behind your bench, you know, up, like right on top of you. So that's a tough place to play.
And it's a beautiful gym, beautiful arena, but it is tough to play, no question about that. All right, as we get into the season now, getting into the SWAC season, this is the big season we get into. This is where we earn our stripes, possibly going to the NCAA tournament and what have you. Jared Sam, as he gets ready to go into tournament play, do you see any difference in his game?
Yeah, you know what? We came back in the day, you know, had our workouts here since we've been back over the Christmas break, and you see a little more pop, a little pep in his step. He's jumping a little better. I don't know if it was the time off. It gave him a little break to recharge his battery, but he came back with a lot of energy and look more focused right now. So hopefully he's excited. He want to finish off his senior year the right way. And he's talking to other guys about, you know, being in conference play and what it's like, you know, what type of focus you got to have night in and night out. And hopefully he continue to do those things so these guys understand and come and play at a certain level, and he take his game to another level as well to help us try to win these games.
What other player do you see stepping up, whether starter or also coming off the bench?
Well, I told you about those guys earlier, but I think the kid, Jamar Sandiford, I mean, he's playing a huge role for us. He's only a sophomore. We got a junior college kid out of Kilgore. He's from over there in Dallas, Texas. I think he's doing a great job for us. He had a big game against Baylor. He had a big game against Duke. He's a guy that enjoyed the moment of big games. He's a guy that plays at a high level all the time. You don't have to ever worry about his energy level because it's always up. He's a yes coach guy. You know, coaches love to coach a kid like that that's just going to come to work and play as hard as he can play for as long as he can play all the time. You have to respect that. And he's a really smart kid as well. So he's a biology major that came in, probably had like a 3.3 GPA. So a kid that's doing it off the court and on the court, you always love those type kids. And like I was talking about with Sam, he another kid like that because he graduated this fall, which was a great thing for him when we was able to come out and celebrate his graduation with him in the fall commencement. And I think that's a big accomplishment that he was able to do that. And we have other kids like that as well in the program.
How is it now? We'll talk about APR, and that was something that was huge. Obviously, Coach Banks has done an absolutely great job of leading the university back to where we're in good standings with the NCAA, and our APR scores are up. What do you do as a coach to make sure that your kids are going to school and not only going to class, but also making a difference in that classroom?
Well, it's just keeping the same formula. When I came in with Coach Banks, we kind of took the same formula we used when we was at Southeastern. I kind of handled most of the academic things over there at Southeastern, and when I came here, he kind of put me in charge of a lot of responsibilities of the academic things here. And we kind of we sticking to the same script with, you know, coaches being in communication. You know, they have 4 or 5 guys that they're in charge of, and they have to make sure they're on top of them every day. And we meet as a staff every day about what's going on with this guy in this class and what's going on. You know, so it's a grind. I mean, you have to stay up here late at night to get it all in, but it's worth it at the end of the day to make sure your team is staying in, you know, compliance with the NCAA, and you don't want your program to be the program to you know, not be playing for postseason. So it's a challenge, but it's good for the kids. You know, those kids deserve a right to come here and get a degree and walk away with a degree at the end of their 4 years.
No question about that. When we come back, we're going to shine our spotlight on Jamar Sandiford, guy he just talked about just a moment ago. We'll do that when we come back right here as we're talking, of course, Southern basketball getting ready to the midseason mark, and we'll be back with more on Pelican Sports TV.
The 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Get to your local Nissan store today. Take on sudden stops. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Southern Jaguars.
At Raising Cane's, we really like all things football, especially these guys. We could watch them all day long. But our one love is quality chicken finger meals. We could watch this all day long, too. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Louisiana Healthcare Connections is more than Medicaid. Whether you're trying to raise healthy kids or need health coverage for yourself, it helps to have good Louisiana folks on your side. Louisiana Healthcare Connections, connecting you to quality healthcare.
Nobody, Frank, nobody.
Nobody does clearance like Salisbury.
It's our disappearance clearance today. We got a deal for you.
Only Salisbury has this 2017 Ram Quad Cab for just $23,990 after finance rebate.
A 4-door full-size truck with payments you can afford.
With automatic, air-conditioned, power windows and locks, speed control, and even a hitch.
8 at this price plus 60 more at similar savings.
It's our summer clearance event and they're disappearing fast.
Only at Salisbury's Chrysler,
Dodge,
Jeep,
and Ram
in Baton Rouge.
Buy smart.
Welcome back, everybody, and we've been having fun this whole hour talking Southern basketball right here inside the F.G. Clark Activity Center. We've got a brand new player right here, sophomore Jamar, and I'll tell you what, man, welcome here to Baton Rouge, first of all.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
From Dallas, Texas, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unbelievable. Jamar Sandiford is right here with us, and tell us what it's mean so far, you being here at Southern University here in Baton Rouge.
Man, it's been a blessing, honestly. Coming from out of junior college, I went 1 year. I tried to work really hard to get to a place, especially at this level. So it's a blessing to be able to be here.
Where did you, now obviously, what are your favorite thing about playing here at Southern University?
Just the culture behind it, actually. That's kind of what drew me to come to the school, just the culture behind it, the fan support, and just the legacy that we have of being a winning program. So I just love that culture about it.
What do you think about the Jaguar Nation? I mean, did you get to go to any football games at all?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. The Jaguar Nation is crazy. I mean, Texas football is really big, but to be surprised at just how the alumni comes back and just supports the team and supports all the programs is really nice.
All right. Well, tell us, everybody, what position you play and also what you're majoring in school.
I'm a shooting guard, small forward combo, and I'm majoring in biology. So
majoring in biology.
Yes, sir.
So I noticed you're 11 out of 15 from the free throw line. Do you like going to that free throw line, Charity Stripe?
Yeah, I wish I could go a little bit more, actually. And I wish I could shoot a little bit better. I missed 4 free throws. Hopefully I'll do a little bit better. So.
Right. Is your play aggressive? Is that why you're not going to the free throw line as much as you would like to?
I mean, there are times where I try to be aggressive. I think I need to be a little bit more aggressive attacking the basket, or at least a little stronger. So maybe I could probably get a few more foul calls going to the line and things like that. But yeah, I would say I'm pretty aggressive towards my approach to the game.
Where's your favorite spot to shoot?
My favorite spot to shoot is on the wing. I like that angle.
The wing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and so, you know, as you're going to look, have you seen SWAC play at all, ever?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Actually, my junior year in high school, I came to watch Southern. They played the SWAC tournament in Dallas, and I came to watch Southern because I had a friend that played SIBO, so I went to watch him. And it was actually a crazy experience because I didn't know it was that competitive at that level because I've been watching Big 12 and all the other levels and stuff like that, Power 5 conferences, but the SWAC is very competitive. So it's going to be fun watching and playing.
And you're going to be kind of going not far from, what about 3.5 hours away in Houston, Texas for Texas Southern. So that ought to be kind of fun. Are you going to have any relatives go up there and watch you?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I was talking to my mom earlier yesterday, and she said my grandma's probably going to drive up and everything. So it's going to be fun to play in my state again and just try to put on a good show and try to get the win for sure because I know Texas Southern is a strong team.
Knowing your family's going to be there, does that put a little extra pep in your step?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I always try to put my best foot forward always, but whenever my family's in the building, I try to make sure I show.
Talk about Coach Scott and what he's meant to you so far in this early season.
Man, Coach Scott has been a big person in my career actually at Southern. He's always trying to push me to work harder, and he's always looking over my shoulder, hey, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. Always trying to help me and coach me up. I try to be as coachable as possible, listening to him, and just trying to execute what he asked me to do.
All right, well, we can't wait to watch you play, and especially here on January the 6th, taking on the Grambling State Tigers. That's a big rivalry.
Oh, yeah, I heard, man. I really did.
Yeah, they like each other, but they don't like each other.
Right.
It's a friendly rivalry, but it's not one of those where it gets violent or anything. But it's a fun rivalry to watch, and Jackson State's also another big game.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
So I can't wait to see you play.
I can't wait to play.
Calling your games this year on the radio.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right, I appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, that is Jamar Sandifer right here at the F.G. Clark Activity Center. He's a sophomore, and he is a shooting guard and does go in the forward position time to time. So we look forward for him playing this year. And we look forward to you joining us here at the F.G. Clark Activity Center right here on January the 6th. That's going to be a 3 p.m. start time with the women's basketball game. Then the men will start right after that, and that ought to be a fun time. A doubleheader right here at the F.G. Clark Activity Center against the Grambling State Tigers. And we look forward for you joining us, too, later on this year as we'll have a wrap-up of Southern's basketball season right here from this gym. And, of course, it's all coming right here on the station that brings you sports here in Baton Rouge. That's Pelican Sports TV, and we look forward to seeing you again right here as we have that show. Again, thank you for joining us in your living room or wherever you're watching us. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm Chris Powers, along with all the gang that we had here today from the F.G. Clark Activity Center on Pelican Sports TV.